Hi everyone. Welcome to today's episode of Sari Ki Sari Baatein. Before we move ahead, let me just add our guest today. Just hold on. And fine, of course, and having a great weekend. So thanks for joining us. Okay, let me send the request. Hi.
Hi, Tanmana. How are you? Good
Hi, how are
evening.
you?
I'm
I'm
good too.
I'm just fixing it.
Yeah, even
Yeah.
I'm fixing it.
Yeah.
How are you? Wish you a very happy new year.
Yeah, same here. Happy New Year. And I think
Thank you.
we all are celebrating Makar Sankranti in some or the other way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, in each part of the
Absolutely.
country. So happy Makar Sankranti. So in Assam, we celebrate
Same.
as Bihu.
Oh, lovely. Happy Bihu to you. Happy Pongal. Happy Makar Sankranti. It's an
Yeah,
amazing festive season, right?
yeah, amazing festive season that we are in now. And also, I think this Omicron has somehow irritated every one of us in some or the other way because it's
Right.
spoiling every festival that has, come since 2020. But still,
So
I wish
totally
that,
the fear
yeah,
has engulfed everyone and can't
seriously. So I'm
imagine.
just hoping that we pass through it soon. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. It,
So
it's it's
let me
really
introduce
nice
you
to
actually.
connect with you. Sorry?
Yeah, same here. Same here. It's a great pleasure to have you today. So
Thank
let me
you.
just introduce. So today we are going to discuss about a very special topic, which is very close to my heart actually. It's about the imperfectly perfect world of handmade products or handmade art. And I think
Right.
there can be no one better than Shahtaj ma'am, who is sitting in front of us. She's a gem, and she's so. I mean, she's such. She has a skill that I think not many of us have. So you can see how fabulously she has made sculpture paintings, and she has put that in her Instagram profile. So, and she's a certified sculpture artist. So, welcome,
Yes.
Shatal ma'am, to our episode. It is
Thank
such a
you.
pleasure to have you today.
Thank you, Tanmana. Thank you so much. That was a beautiful introduction. Thank
And
you.
I literally loved all the painting, I mean, all the art that you have done and displayed in your Instagram profile. Each of the product is so distinct and so different.
Absolutely. This is because there is the demand. Like somehow I've been blessed to have people, say, call family,
Yeah.
many patrons who have trusted me with my work, and they've made me experiment more and more and more. That is
Of
how I
course.
have, those pictures are result of people asking me to do something which they probably trust me with, and every time I try to bring out something new.
Yeah,
That
I'm
is the
sure.
spirit.
I'm
That is
sure.
the spirit.
So how, like in the world of artificials, I'm like if you see everywhere artificial products as well as digital paintings are available. So how did you actually got attracted to this world of handmade, or what made you start a career in handmade art? It is. I'm so excited to hear it.
Okay, so basically, Tanmana, I would say this has been a journey since my childhood.
Okay, that's great.
I have been born and brought up at my grandmother's place. My nani, she was very good in handmade stuff. She was known for it. So she used to do a lot of knitting, embroidery, and I learned and I picked up these skills as a kid.
Okay.
And later, what happened was, as I grew, this grew into me. Somewhere off the corner, this obviously at one point of time when you're in your graduation and all, people
Yeah.
had this tendency of saying, we are 90s kids. So it used to be either engineering or maybe, you study for a doctor, but not these kind of skills and all of that.
Yeah.
So it was more on graduation and stuff like that. But this was always running in my mind. And where, like I've seen my grandma knitting sweaters and clothes for me, for my newborn cousins and all of that. So that is how I have been more exposed to handmade stuff, handmade art, or anything that is, because it gives you a personal touch. And
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
coming to what I'm doing right now as a Russian sculpture artist, I did not choose it. Probably that chose me, because when this is a very new art, it's just 5 to 6 years old in this entire market. And browsing through Instagram, I just came across a couple of pictures and videos which were posted at that point of time by artists. I started following them, and then I was fortunate enough to have attended few workshops in 2019. That is when. In October 2019, I started this page, Spring Buds and
Wow.
Blossoms.
Wow.
So
Glad that you
that is
started.
how I've got into this, and now this is a major integral part of my life, and it has given me this recognition, and that's how I'm here today.
Yeah, I'm sure. And I mean, that's such a great initiative that you have taken, that you have started putting all your art forms and, all your paintings in your Instagram profile. I think that's a great way to document. And at
Thank
least you
you,
are
thank
making
you.
people aware about sculpture painting and Russian sculpture
Yes,
painting, as you have said, because I'm sure a
yes,
lot of people will get interested, or, so a lot of people have this inclination towards
yes.
creativity, but they don't know how to, bring that forward. So that's really nice. And I haven't
Thank you.
heard, it's if you can follow your childhood passion, I think you are one of the luckiest person. It
Childhood
is,
passion, I would, but obviously at that point of time we didn't have this. But
yeah,
fine arts, I was more into
yeah.
fine arts. I started with mehendi actually. So while in
Oh, okay.
school, I used to apply mehendi, and our times the cone kind of mehendi had just started.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I was more into that intricate kind of art, and later I just developed various other ways,
That's
and now
great.
I'm here with Russian sculpture.
That's great. So you have like switched from one art form to another.
Yes,
So
yes,
uh, yeah, in the imperfect, I mean, of course, when it comes to handmade products, we cannot say that it will be perfect like how machines or how computers will bring that out, right? So
right,
how do you
right.
actually, you might have faced that even when you're in your journey, when you spoke to people around. So how do you, so what are your thoughts about it? So how imperfectly perfect is our world of handmade? So if you can, share that with
Sure.
us.
Definitely, that is there. See, handmade art or anything handmade definitely has that imperfection, and that is the true essence of beauty of that particular product. That is what I think. Let's accept the fact that you cannot measure perfection. One
Yeah,
cannot measure perfection, be it
yeah,
art, be it our own life or our existence, because
yes.
this is the imperfection that makes us unique as a
Yeah,
person. It
yeah,
makes you stand out in a crowd. That is the beauty of handmade products also. That is how I can relate to it. you know and uh, I would say that this is what makes that exact, probably the product or a person, perfect to their existence,
yeah,
because we can't expect that kind of perfection everywhere. And that slight little imperfection, that ruggedness, that, probably the roughness in it, that shows the hours of, hours which have gone into it, into making it. Probably that's where it stands out than the
yeah,
mass produced
yeah.
stuff or products.
I think and that brings out that uniqueness. So if you are making like
Yes.
two similar products, like of a similar variety, even then there is this little difference that you can
Yes,
see in each product.
if you
So
had seen on my Insta
yeah,
post right now, I have made two nameplates, and
yeah, yeah,
so the very recent thing is, people whoever has contacted me over that one name board, some of them have like, we want the same thing to be repeated, which is a little not possible,
yeah.
because I
Not
myself will
possible.
know ki, even if I have the image in front and I'm trying to recreate my own work, that is not possible, because that is why handcraftedness has, its own place, and mass
Yes.
produces has its own place. So there is
Okay,
that
yes.
slight imperfection, and I am lucky to say that I have people who understand that, because obviously we are not Xerox machines here. You just keep it and you get it Xerox and you bring it out.
Of course, of course. So, was it difficult, like when you started, was it difficult to convince your consumers or, people who were taking, or do you face that struggle in your day-to-day life to, convince people out there that, this imperfection will remain, or I wouldn't say that imperfection, but you can say that it cannot be easily replicated. So, was
Exactly.
that a
So
challenge
this is the
in your
first
career?
this is the first disclaimer I send them if they ask me to, recreate the entire thing. So the first thing when I deal with my clients is I tell them either you give your own choice, because see what I give them from my side is I would insist on taking inputs from them. What is their favorite color, or what colors do they want to incorporate, or probably the interiors of their house, so that this matches and blends with that. I wouldn't
Yeah,
want, for example, if you go into a store, you might like hundreds of things and you might only pick one or two, and then you would think whether it fits in or not. There are a lot of things going on in a
yeah,
consumer's mind.
yes,
But with mine, what it is, I ask them for their choice of
input.
colors, choice of
Yeah.
flowers, etc., everything, and then I write it down and then I work upon, and I give them a very rough illustration of how it will look, etc., etc., etc. So what happens is, sometimes they come up with a new idea, sometimes
Yeah.
they're like, nay, 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 we want this, we want just the same. And then I have to put my foot, and then I have to tell them ki, yes, it is possible, but there might be slight little changes, because what happens is sometimes we use two three different colors, the colors
Yes.
might highlight in a different way.
Yes.
Even for that matter, the layout of the entire design might change, might vary.
Mindful.
So I give them this disclaimer right at the beginning. Keep kindly accept these, because ultimately, since it is handcrafted, end of the day, I assure them that they will have their own authentic piece of art, even though it is replicated or
Yes.
recreated, looking at something else.
Yes.
But the customer or the patron, they will have their own authentic piece of art, which will, bless their house or adorn their house
Yeah.
and looks very nice at their place.
Yeah,
So
of
that
course.
is what it
And
makes them stand out also, right?
yeah. And of course, I think your mood at that point of time when you are making that particular craft also, brings a lot of change, right? So, if you are
Yes,
like
I
very,
have to be always happy. I have to be always calm, patient. And in fact, I work with that only. If I feel I'm a little disturbed or perturbed, I do not touch my work. I'm very particular about that. So I buy that time from my patrons. I tell them ki usually if I get an order, I complete it within the in between 3 to 5 days. It's done, but it
Mhm.
takes a long time to dry. So at least
Yeah.
20 days, and depends on the weather conditions also. So now that I'm in a cold place, it takes time to dry out. And
Yeah.
in this time frame, I need a good frame of mind while I'm working. Sometimes I'm fine, sometimes my health goes down and I don't
Yeah.
get to work.
Yeah.
I must be fine with it, because with the pressure on the mind, I don't think the results are good. So I'm very particular about that.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah. Okay.
ultimately, I believe in vibes, and I believe in those positive affirmations. So the good mood you have to do while doing something that resonates, that reflects in your work, because you're sending it to somebody else. So
Somebody else.
I'm very particular about all of that.
No, 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 of course, of course. So yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I think price of a product is also a byproduct of this whole effort that it goes by.
Yes.
So, did it ever, come to you that, I think that's quite often, we often hear. So, I mean, you might have also heard that, this is a piece that was available in this price. Why are you charging this much? So those sort of questions might have popped up in certain point in your career. So how do you
Right.
deal with that? So, like, of course, I mean, that might have come up. So I would like to hear how have you dealt in that sort of scenarios.
Pricing, that is
Right.
indeed a nerve which people do touch. I
Yeah,
wouldn't say the wrong nerve, but it is the nerve, because as see, even though I'm an artist, I'm an avid shopper. So I would also go and ask somebody, ki, what is your price? What is the price? And that's a very general thing.
That's genuine thing, yeah.
Yeah, that is a hard-hitting truth, and we can't deny the fact that everything is
Yeah.
priced, and we are entitled to it because the
Yes.
efforts we put in, the number of hours, if you keep that at one side, the
Yes,
kind
yes.
of raw material that goes into making, and I assure them that I can give them the kind of product,
Yes.
not compromising the quality, right? And I try to explain the patrons because obviously at the end of the day they are entitled to give their opinion of yes, we want to go with it or we don't want to go with it. But as I have been blessed to have people like this who have sometimes come across saying ki, yaar, you're too expensive, but then after 10-15 days they'll have probably have had their own reviews. They would have gone and seen others work or inquired with other artists, and then they come back saying ठीक है हम तुमसे ही बनाएंगे, like we really like your work. you know
Yeah.
so this happens. The entire time process takes time, especially when it comes to pricing. So even though there is heavy competition, I wouldn't say even though, but there is heavy competition right now, like through Instagram or the marketplace on Instagram. There are many who have started this art of work, and they are giving it for even more lesser prices, actually. Not probably I might sound expensive, there might be another person who's more expensive, but there are people who are selling it for even lower prices. But again, I can assure whoever approaches me, I can assure them of my work, of the
Yeah.
quality of work I can provide them with. So then I obviously my pricing also would be like that.
Yeah.
So
Of
they
course.
take it or they leave. I don't mind. It's not pinching me anywhere. But I stick to my prices.
So yeah, that's what
And
I
we
think.
should be crystal clear. We should be crystal clear from our side. It
Yeah, of
should not
course.
happen. Ki baad mein they are like, you told us this much, you quoted this much, now you're quoting this much. That doesn't. So right at the beginning and the first of the conversation, my disclaimers, it is all like, saved replies. So I just put them and I keep sending them. Then let it is because ultimately it is time. It takes my time, it takes their time,
Yeah.
the person who's
And
contacting. So,
it's a time-consuming process. So where you have
yes,
invested a lot of your effort as well. So I
absolutely.
think, yeah, yeah,
Because
you.
I'm a full-time mother. I work, my kids are at home. They're very
Yeah.
young, like my daughter is going to turn 7, my son is 9. So they need my time. I
Yeah.
can't be sitting here and, I don't have a team of people who would put across everything. So I have to work. I have to do the photography and PR and everything.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
everything is time constraining. So उस हिसाब से I give them a very clear picture. If they like it,
Yeah,
they take it. If
absolutely.
they not, it's like, okay, fine. But then at some point of time, they do come back saying ki theek hai. And that really gives you a sense of
Yes,
satisfaction. Some of them say,
satisfaction.
oh
Yeah.
God, this is so expensive. I might not afford it. I'm like, it's okay. I just need your love. Keep loving my work. That's more than enough.
But I think, yeah, the way that you have put up, like it's your effort that you have put, put across, and the time, and it's not easy. Like you
And
cannot make that product
exactly.
within a day. So it's going to take, as you have said, minimum 5 days, and then like another time goes in drying it. So it depends on climate and the raw
Right.
materials, etc. So yeah, I think there's a lot of effort that handmade artists puts in their work, and the quality
Absolutely.
actually shows that. I mean, there's always a difference between the quality that you
True.
get. So how do you
True.
actually so I mean, you might have got this question as well, like how do you differentiate between a handmade and a machine made, I would say, or an automated product that is available. So in that case, what are your thoughts about it? So how can we tell might be who is new into this field, they are looking for some handmade product, little confused because it's okay. Like there are a lot of people who are copying that and putting that up. So how do you actually put it forward, like that this is how you differentiate a handmade product from a automated or a machine made product.
See, machine made are what I would say is the people today, they're all very intelligent enough to understand what is machine made, and handmade, definitely you'll have to we have to explain it to the customers ki this is made like this, these are the process involved. And that is where, like, if you look at social media right now, there are tools for it. Like, for example, like an art of mine, I will probably display that kind of processing videos as reels, so that the customer goes and watches it. They get to see how a thing is made from scratch. From
Yeah.
scratch. So
Yeah.
that is one medium of making them understand that this is not mass produced and this cannot be replicated, or even if it is replicated, there will be a little bit of difference in each product,
Yeah.
etc. This is how we explain in one way. Next thing is,
Yeah.
if you look at mass produced or machine made, as we say, uh, you can just walk into a store, right? You can just walk into a store like Home Center or Shoppers Stop
Hmm.
or umpty number of stores,
Yeah.
and you can
Humpty
just
number.
pick up. You can just pick up like hundreds of products at one go. Like, for example, you want a return gift, you for a wedding or something like that, and you can just go pick it up like that and you come.
Yeah.
So that doesn't give a personal touch. There are some people who really want to have a personal touch, and that is when they approach us,
Yeah.
artists who
Yeah.
actually do these kind of, completely customized products, be it for your return gifts, for weddings, for your birthdays, or anything of that sort.
So true. So
And
true.
these days, people have mostly approached me for nameplates because it is exclusive,
Yeah.
and they can gift it to their friends or
Hmm.
their daughters,
Yeah.
their their relatives, their loved ones. Many of them have got. I have seen many of them doing that recently. Whoever has ordered, it was like, this is for a friend's wedding and I wanted to gift her something really nice, rather
Yeah.
than going. They could have done that very easily, just walk into a store, grab something and just give it.
Give it. Yeah.
And personal touch where we try to give, that is what makes a handmade products exclusive and
That
unique.
personalized touch.
Yes, the personal touch. For
Yeah.
example, even these, the blue pottery, the very famous blue pottery of Rajasthan. I have seen so many videos putting on social media right now, where from scratch they are making the entire thing. We just walk into a store, we grab something, we just buy.
Yeah.
We don't see how it is. That would
Yeah.
be, I would call it as handcrafted. That is again not
Yeah.
machine made. You know, handcrafted, even though it is mass produced, but it is handcrafted, and that is why
Handcrafted.
each product is so unique. And I just
Yeah.
love those pottery. Anything and everything I can get hold of, they're really beautiful. And
Mm.
as I told you, that is the only way of approaching your customers, to show them that this is the process involved. This is the number of hours we put as hard work, and through reels, through videos. That
Yeah.
approach is, it's like currently it is, that is the trend, and we
Yeah.
are just flowing with the trend.
Yeah, true, true. So I
Yeah.
completely agree to the fact that you said like you have to make customers involved in the entire process so that they understand that this is what
Right.
a product goes through when it has been made. So this is
Yes.
one very good way to, to make customer believe that okay, it's a handcrafted product. So yeah, I
Right.
think that's very great learning that I have also understood from you today.
I would love
That's
to
great.
see you walking into a weaver's, while they are weaving, and you can put up some videos for your brand as well. It'll look really,
Yes.
really nice.
Yeah, yeah, I'll definitely do that.
I look forward
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, so I think that was a lovely discussion, ma'am, and I wish you all the best and keep doing
Thank
this
you,
work. I
Tanvi.
really love all the artwork that you put up, and I'm going to, order soon for sure.
I hope we'll wait.
Yeah,
We'll wait for that. We'll absolutely wait for that. It was
yeah,
wonderful talking to you and connecting to
yeah.
you. Seriously, I was like wondering what would I do in a sari forum, and then I love the way you brought in handloom and handcraft together, and that's a beautiful amalgamation of resonating with the ideas totally here.
Thank you. We really wanted to take this topic up, and we felt that you were the best person to, talk about it because you have been doing this. So, and you understand it firsthand that what is about
Yes,
the imperfectly perfect world of handmade products. So,
true,
thank
true,
you
true.
so much for sharing your thoughts. It was precious having you today. and
Thank you,
wish you
thank you.
all
It
the
was a
best.
pleasure being with you, Tanmana. It was a pleasure, and
Yeah.
a huge thanks to all of them who've joined us in the live
Yeah,
too.
thanks to everyone who has joined live at 9 p.m. today in the Sunday
Yes.
evening. So it's a big thing.
I was
Yeah.
so worried. I was telling you, right? I just texted just like half an hour before we started the live. The power was back, and I just
Yeah.
came rushing. I was like, probably I'll not be able to make it, but we did have some
But
arrangements
we did
done.
make it. Yeah, we did make it.
Yes,
Yes. Yeah.
absolutely. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Good night.
Thank you, and you too have a good day. Bye bye.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye. Good night.
Bye. Good night.